I do television news for a living. I've done it since 1987. A date that not many people in here will even remember. I started my business in 1991, and from that day to this day, I've done 3 news stories every week on personal finance without hiatus or interruption. So I've done 3,000 personal finance news stories, many of which were boring. But even the blind squirrel finds the occasional acorn. What we're going to talk about today is how to create video, and really, in my opinion, the room should be packed. Because I think video is critical. I think it's crucial. It's the reason I'm standing here. I'll tell you a true story. In 2001, I went to MSN. I called them up, and I said, "You guys need video on your website." And they said, "Why? What do you want? Why would we have video on our website?" And I went away. They said, "We have absolutely no interest whatsoever in video." Last month, we did 1 million streams on MSN alone, and about 150,000 on Yahoo. So video is ubiquitous, becoming ubiquitous for a reason. It works. In fact, I would submit to you that the reason you're here right now, I mean, why are you here? I don't know about you guys, but I had to drag myself to the airport, pay for parking, fly here, uncomfortable flight, stay in a hotel. It's the weekend too, by the way. Why did we all do this? We all did this because we wanted to do what? We wanted to put faces with names. We want to see the people that we're emailing, see the people that we're reading. Well, if we're willing to do that, shouldn't you all be on your website in video? I think you should. In fact, I think you can't afford not to. I think video is critical to communication. I can do things in video that I cannot do with print. First of all, I can't write my way out of a wet paper bag in the first place, so I'm horrible at print. But with video, I can talk like this. I can actually motivate people. Instead of just giving them information, I can say, "You need to do this, and let me tell you why." And they believe me because I'm telling the truth. They can see me. And like, an avatar, I can see you. It's important. Now they know that I'm not just some guy writing something. They can see that I'm Stacy Johnson, and I really believe what the hell I'm talking about. And if you're not doing this, then I'm going to take your reader, because I will do this. And we should all be doing this. Now, we're going to talk about Jim. I brought Jim. Jim is my video producer, also a reporter for Money Talks News. He's here for 2 reasons. First of all, because I do on-camera stuff and writing, but I don't know the first thing about the mechanics of video. But the main reason Jim's here is because he's terrified of public speaking. And I'm the kind of guy that ties tin cans on the cattails. So I just brought him up here to make him talk, to see if he'd get nervous.
Never.
So go ahead, Tim. I'll come back later and answer questions.
So basically, again, what Stacy said, listen, I can talk in front of a lens without any problem, live or taped. I've been doing TV for 12 years. It's not a big deal for me. But, of course, standing in front of people with faces, it's a little terrifying. So bear with me. I'm going to try to not fly through this and give you some good, useful things. The first thing we want to talk about is putting together video on a shoestring budget. Now, you don't have to have the amount of equipment that we have. And we spent, what? Well, 10 grand now, but I would say over the course of our business, probably $60,000, $70,000 on equipment. It's so much cheaper now to do video. I don't see why everyone doesn't do it. We want to show you a story that we did. This is about a few weeks ago. The story was about how to travel across country for free. And essentially what this is a news story that we produce just about 3 times a week, I believe. That's what we've been doing now for some time. So I want you to watch the story, and then we're going to sort of break it down and show you the elements of what makes this a news story.
You don't have to pay for the car. It's a free car, free ride. Instead of actually paying possibly over $1,000 for a car, particularly with the one-way kind of drop-off fee, you get the car for free and you only have to pay for gas and obviously accommodation that you'd have to pay for anyway.
This English tourist is about to embark on a driving adventure that will take her from Florida all the way to San Diego. And the car she's driving won't cost her a dime. How? She's driving for a car delivery company. Win-win for both owner and driver.
The owner gets their car driven at an extremely low rate, saving a considerable amount of money over what it might cost to put it on a truck. And the driver gets an opportunity to make the travel plans that they have in mind.
There are, of course, catches. You've got to be at least 23, you've got to have a clean driving record. The car's owner may have the trunk filled, and the big catch, once you get where you're going, you're on your own getting home. So it's good to be flexible with both time and destination. Still, it's nice to know the options out there.
I've actually done the drive-away thing myself a few times back when I was in school. Yes, they did have cars back when I was in school. Was it the best case scenario? Well, not every time, but I'll tell you what it did beat what I was doing before, which was hitchhiking. Want to learn more about auto delivery? I've got all the information you need waiting for you right here at MoneyTalksNews.com. I'm Stacy Johnson.
And by the way, MoneyTalksNews.com, you need to see that again. We don't say it enough at all. So let's break it down a little bit. The video of that woman getting into her car, putting in the luggage and everything is what we call B-roll. It's just video of whatever the action is that supports the story. So whether it be, her talking with the gentleman at the counter, again, driving, this is B-roll. Stand-up is basically whenever the reporter is on camera. If you're the reporter, then you're doing a stand-up. And the bite, what we call a sound bite, is basically the interview. So Emma would have been our interview. And of course, Stacy was our stand-up. Now, what are the requirements for good video these days? Well, first of all, you could go and get yourself the old-fashioned 640 or 680 by, 720 by 480 camera. Shoots square, but it's old. Everyone's HD now. Most of the stations that we're on are now broadcasting widescreen, so it's the same thing with the web. We have to have HD. Now, the other really important thing is lighting. I mean, ultimately, if you're not lit well, you look like crap. Same thing on TV, same thing on the web. If you're not lit well, you're wasting your time. An external microphone, super important. Audio is just as important as video. A tripod seems fairly easy, fairly obvious. You need to have some sort of stable picture. And editing software, we'll get to that in a bit. Cameras. It's essential that you buy what you can afford. I've seen great video from a $200 camera. I've seen crappy video from a $1,000 camera. It all depends on, again, lighting, microphones, everything else. 1280 by 720 is the minimum. My iPhone shoots 1280 by 720. I don't say you should use this for everything, but if you have it, use it. It's a great little camera, and it's something we have anyway. Maximum or full HD is 1920 by 1080, and of course external microphone input. Now, just to show you, an external microphone. This is actually a professional microphone. We picked it up on Amazon. We use this every day. $30. It's a Sony. It works great. So you don't have to spend a lot of money on even a microphone. Just make sure you have an external microphone. That's the biggest thing. This is the camera we use. It's actually rolling in the back right now. I'm sure you've probably seen us out and around shooting video with it. It's a Sony EX3. It shoots full HD. It's 1080i. It has XLR inputs, which is just the professional standard for audio input. It shoots on little clips, which pretty much everything is tapeless now, as they say. It's light, low power, and it's either auto or manual, depends on how you want to use it. But it's $8,500. You don't have to spend $8,500. We did, obviously, because we are producing professional video for broadcast. But you don't have to. Let's talk about the tripod. This is, it seems so common sense to me maybe, but not everyone, that shaky video just doesn't work. I mean, who wants to watch shaky video of something really cool? Like, you're videotaping a manatee swimming or a dolphin or whatever, and or even you're interviewing somebody. You see somebody who's talking, and it's shaky. You don't want to vomit, and you probably will if you keep watching it. Tripods, very important. I found many of my tripods from Target and Walmart, $30 to $60. But one other thing too is I've been in the TV news business for 12 years, and I'm a big fan of using anything as a tripod. I've used a table, books. I've even gone to Joanne Fabrics, got some, got some flannel cloth of some sort, put kidney beans in it, make myself a little bean bag, put it on the desk, put it on the floor, whatever, it protects your camera, and it keeps your shot steady. Now, let me just say, this video was something that we put on our website because we wanted bloggers like yourselves to submit sound bites for potential stories, because we're obviously always looking for additional content from you. Stacy and I had a really long day. We shot, I think, about 12 stories that day. It was pretty rough, but nonetheless, this is just a very condensed form of us showing you what makes good video. So try not to take.
Hey, I'm Stacy Johnson, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about being on camera, something I've done for 20 years. What we're trying to do is get more and more people in the comfort of their own home to be part of our television news stories, which are broadcast all over the United States. What we need to do is show you how to make good quality video with very little information and very little money. So let's get started. We're going to show you two different ways to capture video. The first is a camera, which will be, we like the flip camera. This is called a Flip Minnow HD. Costs between like $100 and $200, depending on where you get it and whatnot. It's sitting on a real cheap little tripod. Jim got this at Target. Jim's our camera guy, who you can't see. He said for between $10 and $20. So this is one way that you can capture video. Works perfectly fine. It's HD, suitable for broadcast. One drawback, it doesn't have a microphone like the one I'm wearing, so you have to sit relatively close to it. We're going to show you that again in a minute, but let me walk over here with you first. Another way that we get video is, this is a simple webcam. It's from Microsoft, and it costs like $50. It's an HD webcam, and notice on top of it, I have a light. This is a camera light usually. And these two things together, I do all the time. I do talkbacks with giant television stations, and the video looks just fine. So, these are simple things that you can do to get us quality video to put you on TV. Now, let's look into a little more detail. The first thing that I want to show you is, actually, Jim, let's show them the difference in the light mix. You see me now? And now, with the light means everything when it comes to video. The camera you're seeing me on now is actually a really expensive HD camera. It's for broadcast. But the point is, you can have a really crappy camera and have really good light, and you're going to have a good picture. Conversely, you can have the best camera, no light, and you're going to look like crap. Okay, so first thing you want to concentrate on is light. How do you do it? Here's what Jim suggested. He said if you happen to be near a window that you can do this with, you can sit near the window, you can put your flip cam near the window so that you're evenly lit. That's one thing you can do. Obviously, if you don't have bright sunlight, that's not a great idea. But you don't have to have the expensive lights that we use in TV news to do this either. What you can do is this thing on? Okay. No, let's go ahead and adjust it. It's on me? Okay. So what we can do, you only see my neck?
There you go.
Okay, so now, again, let me see if I can hold this thing. Can you see me now?
Yes.
Okay, now turn off your light. Okay, you see how bad the picture is now?
Pretty awful.
Yeah, now look at it. See how much difference light makes? Now again, we're using a really good camera light here, but it doesn't have to be. Look at this. Desk lamp. Okay? You can take this thing. I can't get too far away from it, Jim, but if you get over there and look at me, we're going to turn our regular light off. It's not super bright. There we go. Can you see this thing now? Is it on me? No? Okay. So now you can see again.
Like I said, long
light? No light. Light? No light. So I think we've made the point. As much light as you can get, and it doesn't have to be super expensive light. A desk lamp is fine. Close to the camera, HD camera, and light. That's all you really need to do. And we'll do everything else. We'll conduct an interview, and you will look like $1 million.
talk about Skype, Stacy. Let's talk about that.
Okay, let's talk about Skype. Okay, here's what I do all the time. As TV station calls, they want to do an on-camera interview with me. Here's all I do. I move up here like this. I adjust my HD thing. I turn on my light so that I have light. And now, I can't tell, am I on camera there, John? You can see, that's an HD camera. By the way, remember, $50 camera. And that light is about, well, it's about a $100 light because it's a camera light, but it could be any kind of light. So it doesn't take a lot to make this look good. What do you think, Jim? Do we have it all covered?
I think so.
Okay, so if you have any questions about any of this stuff, though, all you've got to do is drop us a line, give us a call, and we'll walk you through it. But really, if you use one of these two cameras, you're going to end up with good quality video, and more importantly, we're going to end up with a great news story. Thanks a lot.
So again, light is very important, as you can tell. Let's just go real quickly through the editing software. Final Cut Pro 10. I'm sure you've seen a lot of this in the news. It's $300, but they now have a trial version that you can try from the Apple website. I think it's for 14 days. You can try it out and see if you like it. What's more important is that you have the ability to control your video and your audio separately, so that you can narrate under B-roll or that video and be able to cut things the way that you would like to. We generally say to export as an MOV, which is usually a MAC format, MP4, WMV, very common formats in the industry. Clips under a gig are usually the best. 500 megabytes is optimal if you can do it and keep it relatively short. There's a lot of different cloud sites that you can upload your videos to, so that you can either share them with us or share them with your blog. There's also FTP servers you can log on to as well. CyberDuck and other free FTP programs will help you get that video out there. Now, lighting again, the big standard here is 3-point lighting, key, fill, and back. You don't really have to produce this kind of light for your blog. Now, this is, again, professional industry standard. You have a back, you have a key, and a fill. So let's show you what that looks like just on a frame here. Key light is usually the most amount of light on either you or your subject. The backlight is sort of also known as the hair light, which makes you pop out from the background. And fill light will usually get rid of the shadow. As you can see, there's sort of a shadow under his chin. That will get rid of that. Now, there's one thing that I wish I could have done was really go into some more great depth, but as I told some of my students when I taught at CSB, the Connecticut School of Broadcast, this takes weeks to really be able to condense everything in. So I hope this was at least a general idea of some of the things you need in order to make some good-looking video. Again, light, external microphone, good camera.
But do this. Do you get video? Get video.
Yeah.
Video works.
Video's great.
It matters.